The best distance runner in Arizona doesn't train in a high-tech facility or attend a special boarding school for athletes. His story begins here, on streets like Avenue B, and along the canals of the Colorado River. If the first act of Bernie Montoya's story was written in Yuma, the second act has played out in front of crowds at the AIA state finals for the past 2 seasons. In 2011, people watched in amazement as Bernie won a state title after losing a shoe midway through the race. In 2012, they were shocked when it happened again.
Something like that can happen, and once, somebody clipped me, I was just thinking, no, not again. This is the exact same feeling from last year. And right there at that moment, I was just thinking, okay, do I kick it off and go after it? Don't worry about my shoe.
Last year, that's exactly what he did. Running without a shoe for 2 laps in the 1,600-meter final, Montoya would win the race, but lose the rest of his season because of the damage to his foot. This season, Bernie knew what had to be done.
Inside my mind, I was thinking okay, you have 2 more races after this, so try to play it smart. Probably risking the state title, but I had to make a complete stop and just put it on and then work something from there.
It's kind of weird to think that, his shoe getting flipped off his sophomore year would pay dividends for the following year, but he wouldn't have known to get that shoe put back on had he not ripped all the skin off the year before.
By stopping to slip his shoe on, Montoya dropped far behind the pack, leaving him a solid 50 meters behind the first place runner.
Once I caught up with that pack, I just, reset, because some of these guys haven't started their kick yet. Physically, I felt good. Catching up with the guys, I was able to recover a lot quicker, and just at that 300, I was gonna pretty much make the runner hurt and just give it all I had. It worked out.
Bernie would win the mile going away, eventually adding the 800-meter and 3,200-meter title to his totals for the state meet.
The shoe didn't come on.
What is it? Nevertheless, it was the shoe that had everyone talking.
Machine, man.
Yeah, he's just an animal.
He always lose the shoes when he was a baby, and he's still doing it, so it's nothing new for me. I'm very accustomed to that.
I was really little. I don't even remember, but I can imagine, after the race, yeah, they were giving me a little bit of a hard time.
They were letting me have it a little bit, they're like, are you scripting this stuff? And I'm like, I couldn't script this, if I tried.
The next time Bernie competes, it will be in New York City as part of the Adidas Dream Mile. It's one of the most exclusive meets in the nation, with only 14 runners getting invited each year.
I haven't really been to the East Coast, especially a kid out of Yuma. They get a trip to go to New York, and it's going to be an awesome experience.
Any one of these kids that really gets invited, if they pop that day, they're all dangerous. And so we feel we're just as dangerous as anybody else, and we'll go in with a lot of confidence and set it up to try and win this thing, and that's the purpose of the trip.
For Montoya, it is the beginning of what promises to be an exciting summer. More than 60 Division I schools have inquired about Bernie for their cross-country and track programs. Schools such as Wisconsin, Arizona State, Navy, and Virginia have all expressed interest. Some have even sent handwritten letters to let Bernie know they are serious about his skills.
It's just, it's overwhelming. It's already going to be here. Colleges, you actually get to choose what college you want to go to.
As a high school teacher, that's what it's kind of all about, is I need to make sure that academically they get aligned with something that they're interested in, trying to make sure that meshes with a coach and a program that's going to be beneficial to them.
For everything that has already happened in the first chapters of Bernie Montoya's running career, there are still more goals to achieve, more miles to log on the streets and on the banks of the canals. But you can be sure he will enjoy all of it, no matter how this chapter ends.
We're going to have to be looking at nationals. And is that a main goal that I want? Yeah, it's a huge goal. I already have a plan what I want to do, for the summer, and how many miles I want to run. So it's just next step, just go out there and do it.